Hi everyone, we're here with Cindy Aves Eckols, who is an Aussie Metal Clay Level 1 teacher. Let's start out by saying, Cindy, Aussie Metal Clay is very proud to have you as one of our teachers.
Hey.
So we got a few questions that we're just going to ask you. So here we go.
Okay.
What made you to decide to become an Aussie Metal Clay teacher?
Well, for one thing, I'm an actual teacher. I was trained college-wise as an educator, and so it's something. As a middle school teacher, I gained a lot of experience teaching in those years. So it just seemed like the right thing to do. That when I no longer could actually be in the classroom, that moving on to teaching something that I was passionate about, it seemed like the right choice.
Awesome. What is your favorite metal clay technique and why?
Wow, there's so many, but I think my big passion and the thing that I just love playing with and doing and teaching other people about is how to create a good texture with your clays and how to keep a clean texture while you're working with it. I'd say it's texturing, and keeping the texture there while you're working with it so you don't lose it and smush it like we sometimes tend to do. um, and doing things like, for something technical, like creating a nice closed piece like this, a lentil bead or something. Those are fun too. But just creating a good texture to me it might seem simple, but to do it right, it takes some time and talent.
Awesome. How long have you been working with metal clay?
Wow, I took a metal clay class, as everybody probably has done, several years ago, and it was in silver metal clay, of course, because that's the only way you could do it, like 5, 6, 7 years ago. And I fell in love with it because I liked the 3D version of it, because I was doing, the flat soldering and doing, rivets and things like that. And it was just too flat for me. So I thought, why don't we try metal clay to give it a little 3D dimension? And I was hooked. I was hooked. And then when I found a video on YouTube of Kim doing a butterfly wing on a machine, and I fell in love with Aussie clay then. So it took off. So it's been probably, I'd say, how many years? I'd say almost 8 years that I've been in it, but mainly with Aussie clay, it's been almost 4.
And why did you end up choosing Aussie Metal Clay as your preferred clay?
Uh, the colors, the colors were my first draw because I'm a color fanatic, and if you see my jewelry and anything I create artistically, it's always got color in it. So I didn't like just that one bronze color that you saw in a jewelry store or something that was just a flat color. It was something about the tones and the colors of the Aussie clays. And then shoot, once you ordered a package and you had it in your hand and you felt the texture, and it was so fun to play with and manipulate. Uh, that right there was a selling tool. And then the plus, like the icing on the cake, was the help. I mean, I was able to message Kim, and at that time, we're talking 3 years ago, it was just really starting to blossom, and I was able to get to know Kim, and she took me under her wing and was such a true blessing. And Roz helped me understand the metal part, and Kim helped me understand the kiln part and how it worked, the science behind it. So yeah, that's why Aussie clay is my true passion and true love. It really is.
Kimball Class, yeah, she is definitely a gem when it comes to helping people, and so is Rosalind. They're awesome.
They are. They're like having a family. They really are.
Okay, besides Aussie Metal Clay, what are your other favorite Aussie Metal Clay products and why?
Oh, well, shoot, that's an easy one, don't y'all think? That would be clay stay. That stuff is amazing. Um, I can set a stone with it. It doesn't crack around the edges. It stays in place. I don't have a problem with it splitting on the back side. I can use the clay stay to put my bells on, and they stay where you put them. There's no oozing on the edges where you have clay creeping out and you have to clean it up. It makes a smooth attachment. It's clean. That is the best product on the market. And why everybody doesn't know about it yet surprises me, but that's an amazing product.
Yep, I would agree. It's definitely a must-have in your metal clay arsenal. Okay, so this is a two-part question, but it goes together. What inspires you, and how did you become the artist that you are today?
I'd say nature. Nature inspires me, as it does, I think, a lot of us. I mean, you see it in a lot of artwork out there with metal clay, where you got leaves and twigs and animals and birds. I think nature brings us, it's the true blue beauty that we've been given by God. So it's transforming that into a piece of artwork that we can hold and carry, touch. Um, I think that inspires me. And the colors of the world, being able to take a metal clay piece, if it starts out a ruby bronze and adding a patina to make it look aged, or even painting it with some vintage inks and putting color on it to create a canvas per se. You know, that's the thing that you can do with metal clay that you can't really do with any other medium out there.
Awesome.
I hope I answered that question.
What qualities about yourself do you feel are important for potential students to know?
I think I'm a trained teacher. I understand teaching techniques. I understand some people are visual learners. Some people have reading difficulties. So trying to read an instruction just isn't going to work for them. They've got to see it in action. They need a video. They might need to see it over and over again, step by step. They need to understand. I understand that some people need it a step, step one, you do this, step two, you do that. So I have the training to be able to teach all different types of learners. And I think that's important. And then also, I find myself very open to teach and to give, and that sometimes I end up giving too much and tend to just give myself away, but that's okay. That's why we're in this, I think. So that's important to me, and I think that if you want to reach out and learn from somebody who is truly passionate about Aussie Metal Clay, pick me, because it has been my life for 4 years, and it's increasingly being my life. Not only do I sell it, I want to teach it, I work with it, I, give my pieces away to people that can't afford it. I love sharing it. So it's important. It's important to know that about who you're going to be learning from. What is their true passion, and what brings them to the table of being a teacher? Why are they there? Is it just for the money, or is it because they're truly passionate? You need to find that passion in your teacher.
Agreed. Where are you located, and what is your preferred method of teaching?
Well, I'm located in very hot and humid Louisiana. I'm actually a Texan at heart, but I love Louisiana too. I'm located in Lake Charles. I do have an avenue of a great studio here at the Placa 5 in Sulphur, Louisiana. I can teach a group there. I can have somebody come to my house. I've not yet, but I'm sure that could be easily arranged. Um, but I typically teach through Skype. Um, I have walked people through just on the phone. I've walked people through just by text messages on how to work your kiln. I love working with beginners, because I'm really not as advanced as Kim is, or not advanced as a lot of the people out there. But I do have the right skills to get you started and get you into being an intermediate clay, like the intermediate lover of clay per se. So, the teaching on Skype probably right now, considering our situation, is probably the best way to go for right now.
Okay, and last but not least, how can people who would like to take a class with you get in touch with you?
Well, you can use my email, and it's CA as in Apple, V as in Victor, ES, design at yahoo.com. That is my email address. I don't give out my cell phone number just because of security purposes. I don't like giving that out. So I really prefer using my email, or you can reach me at the Etsy Aves Design site and send me a convo there, and I'll be glad to get back to you as soon as possible. I usually am watching my feeds rather hourly, pretty much, so I can get back to you pretty quickly.
All right, so that does it. And again, we're very happy to have you as one of our teachers. And you can read all about Cindy in her bio, which will be added to this. So you can read all about that. And it will also have our contact information. So Cindy, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Joe. You're so wonderful. Thank you.
And have a great day.